Hello and welcome to Middle-Aged Geek Girl. I'm Sally. Today's video is a bit different. I just want to share with you all what I've been up to in the last couple of weeks. So before we start looking into these boxes, just to let you know, I have had some big personal events happening in my life that have been a major impact. Good things. I do want to stress very good things, but I can't share them because they are quite personal. But rest assured, it is good things. And the other thing I have been doing is moving back into making physical items for my Etsy store, where I will be starting off again. Hopefully I could eventually move to my own website, because I know Etsy is a bit of a dumpster fire at the moment, but it's the only platform I've got. I did try to go to the Australian version, which is Made It, and it only does Australia, and I was rejected. And after requesting why I was rejected a number of times, I finally got the answer I assumed, and it is basically because I use anatomy and swearing in my designs, and they're a bit too bougie for that. So really, it's a shame, because when Made It first started, I had a store under my old business name I used to use, which was Tiddles Emporium, and I made their front page 4 times of recommended goods. But now it has changed ownership and it's a bit too bougie for what I make, so you know, Made It. Anyway, so that's why I've been, and I do apologise for the weirdness in my uploads. There's going to be a bit more disruptions, but you know, as I try to balance everything I do. But I thought I'd just share with you what I am doing. So some of this is new stuff, and some of this is the old stuff I have checked out, and it's held up well because it is resin, and I will be relisting. And it's keeping within what I do, which is the weird stuff, which is the adult stuff, which is the sweary stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to change any of that just so I can go on some bougie websites. But I'm also moving into wanting to make things for the neurodiverse people like me. You know, there's so much is pushed that you can buy in the ways of fidgets and pig pads and sensory toys, and it's all marketed for children or pretty or polite. And so I'm trying to move into the stuff that adults would like myself, because believe it or not, I'm an adult. So I wanted to show you some of the things I've been making. Let's have a look at the things in the packets first. I've made these pocket yowies. Now, the point of these ones, there are so many pocket hugs out there. You've probably, if you look up Etsy or any sort of, even Temu, there are so many pocket hugs and pocket hug variations, but they're all, as I say, pretty and polite and sweet, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, but it's not my jam. So I'm trying to make things for people who are like me, and hopefully some of you guys out there in my audience. So the first thing I created, because I did have a mold that was an ice cube mold. It was called a Yeti ice cube mold, but Yetis, Sasquatch, Yowies, Bigfoot, all that sort of cryptid resemble the same sort of thing. So a Yowie, if you don't know, if you're not Australian, is basically the Australian Bigfoot. So I've created a pocket Yowie with the heartwarming message of, you may not believe in them, but they believe in you. So it's an Australiana version, basically, of your positive message of believing in yourself. I got the backing cards professionally printed, just on an A4 sheet that I've cut up myself, but it is like 300 GSM, so it's quite thick card. My printer, my poor little old printer, can't print that, and I don't think it comes out very well. You might be able to see it slightly on the card as well. It's like Australian flora, very faintly in the background there. And the back of the card's just plain. So yeah, your little yowie is attached to the card with some glue dots. I mean, I guess he can come off if they want to keep him in a pocket, but I reckon it's better to leave it on the card. And it's in a cellophane bag, and cellophane is recyclable, so I'm doing my part for the environment with that. So yeah, they're my little pocket yowies. The mold itself has 6 different designs. They are the 6 different designs, and I thought that would be an awesome different version of a pocket hug. Let's show the second one. Now the second one, as I remind you again, I am making things with the aim of the adult market, not children. So the next one is still on the theme of pocket hearts, pocket penises. So I have created just 2 colours at this stage. I have this blue one and this brown one. Of course, I'll be creating different colours for these. The yowies are always going to just be brown, but these I will do in all sorts of different weird colours and stuff. I'll put my little logo on the back there. And I know that I have created this little poem that goes with the pocket penis myself. This is an original M.A.G.G Designs verse. So if I see it on anything else, I know that it's been stolen from me, because generally the pocket heart ones have the same bloody thing written on all of them. This is a genuine Sally Frost M.A.G.G Designs verse that I made up myself, so anyone else using it, you've stolen it from me. This is the official video to say so. But here is your little poem. So here's a pocket penis. It is small and it is thick. Carry it with you daily, and please don't be a dick. So there you go. So they are the pocket penises. So moving on from penises to uteruses. I have a uterus mold, which I think I have shown in a video in the past. I got it a little while ago, finally started to use it, and these I have done in a number of different colors, and will continue if they sell to make them in all sorts of different colors. This is probably my favorite, being the sort of nebula one. Now I did do some of these with UV resin, some of them with epoxy resin, and then had to colour in the dint there with black or white paint, and then coat it again with some resin so the paint is sealed in. So these, although they're little, have taken a bit of work, mainly because of, you have to do your layers, then you paint, then your layers. But I love them. I think they're really cool. And the saying that goes with this one is, the uterus is mighty just like you. So they're all still in the theme of positivity and being kind to each other. Even the dick ones are. So yeah, I'm not trying to make things that are nasty. They're all meant to be uplifting and positive, just like a pocket heart. And speaking of the pocket hearts, well, what is the only version of a pocket heart that Sally would like? And that, of course, is a sweary pocket heart. Now, I had, and I still have, a shit ton of these little hearts. And these are the hearts you will see in a lot of the pocket hearts that are resin-based. It's just that mould that's got, I think, 9 shallow heart, these size shallow hearts in them, and I used to just fill them up when I had excess resin from making other pieces, so that's why they're all sorts of weird colours. And I have so many that I thought, well, let's make them sweary. So you have got this one, and of course the little tag on this one is because swearing always helps. So this one says fuckwit, this one says asshole. Now that's Australian, it's asshole. The ASS, the asshole, is not the way Australians say it. We say asshole. So yeah, everything I'm making definitely has an Australian slant to it. And of course I'm Australian, so there has to be this word. And I know this is the point of my video where there is going to be people complaining and getting upset. If you're that sensitive, while you're watching my channel. I mean, really, this is an Australian word. This is a very good and powerful Australian word. Now, the letters I'm using on these are nail art. So yeah, if you wanted to put a word on, if you had long nails, that's what these are, little tiny nail art. They're not even stickers. I have to seal them in with UV resin. So it's they are very fidgety because you can see how small they are. They're supposed to fit on a nail. They are fidgety. They don't come in the letters. You have to go through the entire little compartment to find the letters you need. So it's very fidgety work. That's why I've only done 3 so far. But I do have a lot of these hearts in different colours, as I said, because it's always what's left over when I make epoxy resin stuff. But yeah, I will just trial out these 3 and then I'll see what other words. I mean, there's so many words I could use, really, but I am assuming, or I'm guessing, that the C word will be the one that sells the most, because whenever I make something with that word on it, always the first thing to sell. Alrighty, so the last 4 things I've got here that are wrapped up is something new I'm trialing, and these backing cards I did print at home. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them in future or how I'm going to repack these, but I've called them tactile fidgets. They're attached to like a phone charm, or you could also use it on a lanyard, and they are just little tiny bits of irregular shaped resin. I think the mold I used here is just irregular circles. I think they're designed for, like, you know, the phone pops that you have when you hold your phone in your hand, because they do fit in your hand nicely. And they're just tactile. So these ones, I might have to put a photo if this doesn't quite work out, because he's all wrapped up. I don't want to take him out. Yeah, they're little devil ducks. They're the cutest little things I saw. So I've got my little devil duck. So this is a little devil duck lava pond, I guess you could say. And the beads in there are also tactile. So the idea with this one is that you would have it on a lanyard or whatever you want it on, but you could put your finger through even that there, have it very discreetly in your hand, but if you needed to, you can just rub your finger over the different surfaces for a more subtle tactile fidget. So yeah, so I want to, as I said, go into doing sort of the tactile fidgety type toys, because the market is largely catered for kids and young teens. So I'm trying to do older teens and adults, and maybe I can look at also networking through the NDIS to get some of these things out to people on the NDIS. Now, for my overseas viewers, the NDIS is the National Disability Insurance Scheme. It's run by our government, and it is funding that is given to people with mental and physical disabilities to help them out and to help them be part of the community. So that's the newest stuff I've been making. I've also been making, which I have not finished yet, but I thought I'd bring them out just to show you that I have been a busy little beaver. Now, these are obviously little teddy bear molds, but they've got flat backs for when they're in the mold. So I'm going to also turn these into tactile, probably key rings again, or maybe just handheld, you know, with nothing attached to them. But on the back, I am going to put, again, like I showed with the devil ponds, just a bunch of different beads and cabochons and stuff like that. So it's going to be a textured back. So again, you've got something smooth to feel on this side, and you'll have rough stuff to run your finger over on that side. So that's the idea behind these ones. I've only, as I said, poured the initial resin. I have not yet done the backs to them. And the same here, I've only poured the initial mold. These are shaker molds. So you've got your standard gaming console one, TV one, and cat bum Of course, I've got a cat bum shaker mold. So I was debating whether to make them dry shakers or liquid shakers. I'll probably do a combination. Some of them will be dry, some of them will be liquid. Now, because I'm also a home resin maker, I don't have a degassing chamber or whatever they're called. So there are little imperfections in what I make. I'll be honest there. And I'll be honest when I do the listings as well. So there are tiny bubbles that appear every now and then. But I can fix them. That's why these have only been got to this stage, because like little tiny bubbles on the side, I'm going to just leave them in and sort of seal them up with UV resin, clear resin. So yeah, there's going to be tiny imperfections on everything you make, but anybody who home resins that doesn't have a degassing chamber, you can try to get the bubbles out, and there's always going to be one you miss. Always, and especially with odd shapes like this. So they're still to be finished, but at least I've poured the initial stage of them. So they're the things that I have been up to. My older stock from when I was doing it 4 or 5 years ago, and it still holds up beautifully, being that it is epoxy resin, so there's no need for it, no reason for it not to hold up, I mean. So just to show you roughly, these will all be on sale again as well, and they're all still within the theme of what I want to do. So I have been quite busy, just not recording, and I do apologise for that, but I thank you all for your patience anyway and sticking around. So please, you know, stick around, because I'm still here and I'm trying to fit everything into my worldview and, you know, work out a proper schedule for filming, a proper schedule for making, then for photographing, and then listing, and all of the other admin stuff you've got to do. So yeah, I really need to look at how to do that. Like, I'm so out of practice, because when I had a full-time job, you know, I had a job chart and I used to be able to do this stuff. It's been a long time really since I've been fully trying to give things a go. That's a lot of talking for me, and I'll have a lot of editing, I know that. But thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this stuff I'm making. Just quickly on that, I am looking at being able to post overseas through Etsy. I know I can now. I have confirmed it do North America, so that's not a problem. Europe is a problem at the moment because they're going through some changes around postage and packaging, so Europe won't be offered at the moment. I think New Zealand will be offered. They're not really been a problem, and the UK will eventually be offered, but again, there's a problem around listing on Etsy with the UK, because Northern Ireland is included as part, well, they are part of the UK, but in terms of the postage rules, they're actually recognised as the European Union. So until we can separate Northern Ireland from the UK when it comes to the postage issues, but if you follow my socials that I put up earlier, and I'll pop them up again here, you will know if anything I am making is able to be sent to your country. So yes, as I was saying, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of these goodies. Let me know how you're doing as well. I love to hear from you, and I always respond. If you're interested in supporting my channel further, I do have a Ko-fi and a Patreon account set up, and the details are up here on screen. Again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I know I like to waffle, but let's try something new. If you have watched this far, comment bougie in the comments. B-O-U-G-I-E, bougie. That lets me know if you have listened to my entire waffle. But until next time, everybody, please stay safe, stay weird, and I'll catch you in the next one.